I thought I saw one of these somewhere. Give me some hot water and tea in that whenever you get a chance. Right. I'll start out and I'll hand it over to you. Good afternoon, everybody, on this beautiful Sunday. Nice weather outside. I know it's a little bit windy, but I'm sure many of you listen online to maybe some church services this morning. I just want to say thank you to Ponderosa Baptist Church out of Flagstaff, Arizona, Pastor Joshua Gregg, for a great sermon this morning. And I know that many families may be at home and spending time with one another, 6 feet apart, right? But I want to welcome you all to our town hall, giving updates of the efforts here on the Navajo Nation, the Navajo Nation COVID-19 preparedness team, which consists of many experts, many of our division directors, as well as the Health Command Operations Center team. And so, as you know, we've always start off with the prayer, and we've had visits from many of our leaders helping start our town hall meetings. And today we have Council Delegate Begay. We also have had Delegates Edmund Yazzie and Edison Winika and Wilson Stewart Jr., who have been a part of these discussions. And today I'm happy to have a good friend, Begay, here with us. So he'll help us out with the prayer, and then he'll share some words of encouragement to the Navajo people. So let me turn it over to Delegate Begay.
The more Atiki Kwaki Kodoshan and Lindigi because other President Nez, other Vice President Lizer. Let's have a hot zando at the Nido Kodoshi on Hitch. Ichane nada Huilnato, Kodoshi hit Ashin Kwagi. At the whole Nito, what a Hagishin Kodobe is now Huilnat or the Slashik Ain of Lindigi. A Kokwaki Edi, so there's an Lindigi, Sabe, Ado, Nito, Adoshin Baby Nache Kodo. Called just told this nigger go she quacky 8 or Hasha Oyada di Nisto Kodo so there's an Lindigi Bay Sanadi Lace Arnils when he so there's an art the Kojed An Nabekoba Kojed Navajo Nation Kodo Lago A Kodo 13 Lindigi da host sauce Ada be not Ashik A no Lindigi Ada Kodo Nahasa Kodo Roadman Native American Churches Art Ego Kodon hit so there's an Inilzen Ada Kodo Bible da hit as Nijigi to dit Kodon hit so there's an Inils and Shik A no Lindigi Ako Ebe Benashiko Kodod as Shonde Hasha Ego E Kodod so there's an Lindigi Be Ilkinail Nito Be Nasi Ka Akot Edo at the whole Nishin de but the hot end the Kodod dit Heki be ba na ini khato na ini khagi bin na she kodo dit ai kodon hiche ana hui na to le chik e no lenigi ko oshin yada di ni to kodoshi an hin hit so de zen lenigi shi be init edo be not edo le ke ha ga ya an shon lo ni kodo di bini bi yen he hana ot ado kodon he na ot as ennan hin set kodon khana hol ya na nis kha in lini ben hik ejutle ar corona hasam khai be khadet e be ko be ik idla do le to be khini na do le liki e kodo khaden lago ko dish khwa gi damo o asibi e kodo a khe nan di ni do le la do kodo should na dan lini kodo ni chode zen lini at e shinte but ok e ne be kha ko ni zendo be kha nature be init a kodo hit na en lini ki be bayi ta stone hit na en lini ki be ban huit ash she jan lini gadi ash kon loni dit e ko kodo so zen lini be anana liado be anana shleki khake shnant adan lini kunk at President Nez adl Vice President Lizer aro spesh bahasa an ki besh bahasa an dan lini na din nilt aro nit khat nas dilen le the chapter has ad grazing officials that a farm board it e wishin kodo ohli lini ki bahnaz lagad dit e kodo ishi ben hik hol ji khake the kosen tragi dit ego kunk at ahwist ande khake ben hik hol ji jot kit ni go di khake be ka ko ni zendo lesto be yel do khake hit ego lai be be at di tleti ni go kunk at hasa ba khai be na huit ado be ka huil na go kodon hit na dan lini be hadait god but I could end kodot a choche kodon on like at it ado leton and like at na ado le khalat an hitla satin si se ishi da ho ni le to benil and but net eya belahnen ado but ego ko na khabe katen kli to le shidin ka di ashe kon lo ni kododit ego kodo baba na in kha kodo shid na dan linit a choko kha de shin da kodot e kha dit ego so de zen lini be hasi to le to be bahasi to le ka akodit ego khunk ati o asibi kut ego kodo abahanan banna isis khando le to banna insis khando le ka a thoyon na na ado le khunk at ho ni to da hot ege kodo yat hate ai kodo should that and lini khunk at kodo our elected officials leaders and lini provide them guidance provide them wisdom provide them the strength kodo bilna khachiti kha hot ain khil ho ego dit ai kodo banani ni kha shirini lini kodit ai chozen lini at isen de behasi to leto kodoshi nikit na dan lini hit e wishin kodo bet chozen yo sinit at khoebe as kha ko ni zendo leto be kha ko ni zi to leto nas ne ne be nit e do leka akodit ego e kodo na ises khando leto dit ai kodo ni Jesus Christ bishop benachet out e nice condoleezza in Jesus' name, amen. Ik heb het lees een of lenigi kodo. Die o asibi je kodo atse niet eda hasi to lees. She kodo kial Begay Junior het a ze ado hanaga ni eda na anslon kia ani dasje. Bet ani dasje chedo des chi de eda snale. Ledak helanda yisiki nasha. Akodak helanda Ado Nazlini, Selana Cottonwood, Tachi Blue Gap, Ado Low Mountain, Dit Ego Kodo, Bishbas Anan Schlingo Kodo, Hat Ego Shananish Innocent, Shik E no Sliniki, Ado Konk at Diego go Konk at Anahot et do and Nahuit E Hatnigo go Kodo, Nihilko at do, Nihilkas Aquakina, Bekoba Kaya Pakakas, Adot Artsko, Nadi Ashlatin, Kaya Hadahuis Sodo Adik and Hasant Asa Ande. Dit ego den nen liniki konkret ishi the kosen sagi that nahast eight at the baby tochi go konkret don he kite ki da do don he kast ki go konkret diego ko nit na en lini khashit a ekodo be in na lini konkret ya nei di laka kot ego go kodo shik e no lini ashonda be kha ko no sendo kodo opa nan hi ni kha ko atsa hakisha zidot o a large Kodon Zesh and then Liniki. I want to thank Kodo, our medical team, our doctors, our nurses. IHS the she Dashnish, Nachinishit o Yun Dadish Kodet Zel Ede, Beaching Kada Dokato, Beaching Nakegi, Ashon the Yego, Takonot Sendo, Yego Kodo, so the Zenlini Beo Hash, Ado an hiso zingi yego kodo be not ashik no linigi. So I want to thank the medical workers kodo IHS do any other medical field kodo they're the front defense kodo a large shin kodo be yisiki banana shida yosin shik no linigi. Ado na konake kodo hehat na but de niki nikisalaw that konk at the first responder. Nikisalaw dan liniki konk achik no linigi. Kodobe has on it, they're just enforcing the policy, the laws that's in place by the Navajo Nation. Ako ashon the Shabadajin, but Kodo Nahabatsu da Zendo, Kodobik etahnos, and ashon the Shik no Leniki, Adon Hik no Leniki, Kodo Navajo Nation employee no Leniki da Sto, Konk at Hajashi, one and the Hiso Tahaninde, but Kodo Bananki in the Shkan Sato, Kat nature, Sato Kat nature. Ado pia da kodon deil nish do ndad nish konk atla ado kodon ke ultra adat public school grant school pia school bada ultra da shit o khayuda is do hit ala sato adesh hoto ka adesh hoto da shit anzo kodo cho insta des ego kodo they want to provide and help the nation in whatever way that they can but o khot the shik no senigit o khan khidini do le Ako the Tratnas the Lin of Senegi Shit Dokodo, Nihich Hasito late ni o the Tratnas the Sanda at Lehones, Asadnes, nothing about Asa, did Sanda at Lekoda that there's called, but I could end the Kodon and Liniki are the ASC.CSC, I don't have the niche, a co aid gil to Hihap at the Schneedo, late Division Community Development, other ASC, other community service coordinators at Alia. Ado AMS account maintenance specialists at Alia. They're the first one that's working on behalf of us at the local chapters. Ado Hehat Bedini do Leto, Ado Shabadajin, Basto Shik no Stindigin, Hidden and Lidiki, Ado CHR that Ado Dailinish, a Kodit Ego go conk at a certain area of the Navajo Nation chapter has Ada, a can not chato, it does not eat. Be has ani be on Nishiki has jo be is hosnet don't has on hit the net and diniki be but hosnet and he mosan in hit chain hit the net and lini be shan innocent indeed ego hole jishiki do it out I see out that el called out such a it out that it neither hate art cut nature kodod and large the Nahaz Traniki the incident command center the Dahal Yego go Aji Yego banana shita yosen ako ada a cake on ago hate wishing kodo did out now need go add recommendations that policy issue be the hot haki kodon his ishan also be nail nisto be yield the shiki it ashik no theniki dot aqua has agit ebe nail nista adoti tra go konk and tra go nada hui sodik at your tojo hos doje ado so le pitra hot so chi top not ani liniki a yede go belikishin dale nish shik no theniki ado ande Washington hoyel ago ada hote ho wando ho ye ho one senators or congressmen zadal yego go kodo a yede go belishin dale nish bia ada adat ako ediki khaba ako no senshik no theniki aslahate be khaod zidot aslahate eti nidiki dot eda ako alanji iki kodo bana ini khato bana ini khake te kodo ishin ko becha ne pato leliki protective PPE that they ne ishin kodo chostoit ini ko be ne pato leliki that haki kodo khanit khado peso bab akhui yago go atashik no theniki ako aje hot go shisazido banan hinish kan konkat an hieta at no zento an hieta akonotsen an he has job yasti the one has and hinna an he deje and he silda adat and he mayaj and he dayaj and he grandkids the adat be not can has job yasti o loshi hot chi that do the she don't his yat and this is serious issue that we got to deal with shik no syndicate as shoden get the shne hit ego da konk at the hagoshin da shi asna da kant ego choto tatan hito nido kwaeke so hot the shik no syndicate the only effective way ado nidiki hajo be ik atiti tleliki itsa hajo khotenil ze 8a yisiki launch banan hini kha hajo khotenol ze ado yego go khunqat atlach nikitnanda itje belch yalt khe hajo hot end hajot I si pen yego anta shinle na lieba ho wan go katato azel ego shin ago to tal to tati nida ba ado ben yahado a ishin khukat o sna chide sna at iniki ki ashodet on hiti ne atsa ko the not ze khashin za chitikat to ben hich na ho tiki khashin za yen hiket to kahliki jo e bakhat bakhan hichat ho iniki benina go akwa ki hot a ben hich yel tie akoshik e no senigi tik an ki masanen hiche sat asahan da has khada no da ba da tie ban nata no khato ban da no kha chine ka hondo a khoda da da sto e to ba da khoshya shik e no senigi ad lange ke kodon haben nishiki to ad kodoshik e no senigi ni na tloshi khodon sto be ka shi de bada sli da thoda do no da kodobe ni hichen da hosne abe nil soit ai kodo chapter na has added thoden da geheki da sto na khaba yel ki go at sto shik e no senigi ko ebe ben na kodo hit ale kwa ki ka ticha ko benina go kodo chapter officials dan linigi to chapter administrators dan linigit ashoden hitishne there's a procedures that we're asked to do hit ego lay kodo ha ishin kwakin hitne and linigi these essential service station ishi ba khiliadon hitne and linigi local chapters baby etenit eki hajo public hakwiti bab hakwiliado lesto adonat sos baby ha onsto letiki ekode form 1213 or yego handa ha chachon kito need officials na seniki ako epe de need nish arch ako beni nashiko dit ego kodo so there's an liniki behasi to lesto ado shisazindo banan hinch ad trachi do blue gap do brookhorn has ad ashon de shik e no seniki ado low mountain has ad da kut ego kunkat aniti telecommunication yada ben hich shi na hot in the na ko ni zendo an hikednit ido an kha ko de na huit go at adat sanana kan with chapter da nazlenage da flat rock na has age adodak halan has agit anos khoshik e no seniki dik at asahat nes na tindo ba at atla asahanda atle ko shik e no seniki o na o kha ki te de khuid la be khat o zeto de khuid la be khatit ado ke de bendest hiki shik e no seniki spiritual leaders ni hit nigo hat abe dan hitoche hat khali da dan leader hat halna ada dan no leader ado kodo roadman da dan no le ashodin hi congregation ashodin hit the end liniki satope na khabe bich yalt shik e no seniki akut at e pohonetza do in la the church has added that do in lede hit ashi ishi banda alte tinda yel kida o khont o khayu Facebook the tal yedo hit ashi bikin dahi ni ko khont yata ako aki ton hi kha do just spiritual leaders that no seniki across the Navajo nation talk to your people talk to our people sator ashon de betohne atsa ko to zet adonan nan de ni kha jo wadan dahi sot kha hajo wada anot betohne to saton hi kha oche shik e no senik kodit ego ko to sad liniki pe shaho aki pa khasi to los to le do ado kodot ashonit onan hitesh ni do le shik e no seniki ata akhya do alkha akonot sendo alkedenot i do ado kodo alkhatso da do sendo ata sodel zen shik e no seniki adon khabada jino bakon hitne and lini day nishiki every day they have families they have relatives they have spouse kodo ba chinito but nan linits and da kai somebody has to do the job and that's where we come in be an handa nishiki kote kot eyes it oh what the next to do shaponet za da khala o you the nan liniki biketin ito bicha hate sihito bikete silikon kachna nish innocent ako ebe ben nach kodo sato be ka di jashik e no tendigit ashodenan hitesh ni do le kodo akodit ego kodo president nezo President Lizer, other speaker Damon, Adosh Beshbans, and Natin Tra, Natin Dinil Hagi, Kodo, Hajoshi, Naso, Kodo, Navajo Nation, Hit Niniki, Yego, Betzilo, Kodo, Benakachiti, Kato, Nas, Noach, Inan, Linigi, Hagoshin, Hot Ego, Benane, Kato, Leshik, Enos, Linigi, a Kodit Ashe, Kodo, and Linigito. Ado Kodona o Kandiniki Bahasito. So with that, President Nez, I want to say thank you for allowing me to take a few words to the community and the Navajo Nation. So with that, I'd like to conclude my statement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kialan Begay. Kudo Shanan Hijhadzi Beshbahas an Lingi Kialan Begay. Jonago E Kudo Sad. Nihich Kuyilla, Kodi, Nia, Kuich, Anil, Sonat, Anini, Linigi, Ashwode, Dadi, no do, no ka, at Egi Kodosad, Beyel, Shikain of Lini. So Kodo, Nijunago, Enich, how Z, Nana, Judi, Enichinat, Ani, Danle, Le, the Nebekaya, Pakao, the Dishi Ekon. Dien naiz la e koni hinat anin khadan la nikishi de baida isonel a hihe jukodo e nihika nacha do ka nature do shisindel na shot nakhade a kuichin shikeno lini a konda nihido nakhas laut jukodo a ninit a ashwada a hawanden da so tra do kachi e ya Koni masani hichen hinala Iyan and the Yisni do ishi the supplies that Egi da she kon ani Nalyaha Baho and the she and the Yisni Kade Ahagan and the so here Laki Allen Nakhania Ado additionally Ado Kon Khalchin Ad Judo do the old Kataria. Dik at the old Kagi the whole year at the old Kata do less. So hot out a sad not so spell that sling do aje stage how George Jukuja hos do how George do your two how George hot out sad not so ciela that sling adi old Katan does analogy state that there's in that the del call out Sunday. The whole year, she had all less in late May, June, the Ostcats and then has Chinkade, Kachin lay Shinj, don't lay August, she start nada net or lecho. Eon his bells and all that. Nikido Godo became seats. A course the Andash Neshigia. Ado Adado, La Andash Neshot, Eshik not Lini, Eshik at. Nichinat ani Junichi ultra jenat aidan linigila and the hast einacha ado bini ba adaison nelly not ani das li a conden le ahandi ultra de shina nishtahallo juk at that el khaligishi ested ado egg that el khaligi bin nachi alskobena nishde let or let eshi binina aj ndal nishigi Andal Nestolel, Anna Kitrad, a je adole, da no not Annie, hot outside Hijacodella. Jo hot out, is she a codonat Annie, a Ken so Zido, Adon Hidonat, I no Senigia, Codon, Niki Nandal Neshigia, Abada Hotlia, do I add Ndal Neshigi Aden. Ndal Nestadole, the Quida Shlat the Nesnada, hot let or less a closed down schools they let or less so oban so kest or less ajanat ani no senigi jo here la qua na ho don en senigi shin slot tratnesan e bashchin aro tudchini da shiro tkachini da shnalak kodo ya alaje da satagi da sholla ado kodo shnado Vice President Myron Lizer, Shigato, Zido, Shikanal, hot in Hinanish, Nakadel, Nashik, Lin in Hibeshma has unbel. Additionally, out, though the alt the Kashina China Aden, the Hastran here, Hagand, Ado, Jok at Chenstui, ado shin kada kyata ashtadalle ado nda annishtlode ni masani hiche ni nale lata cheda nile ya kachi ashon kon nakhalchna ade ka natja he la chinno linigi kodoni masani hiche ni nale nasta zlingi ba da holyanigi ba heni zin kodosh nabel vice president hot la kut na antinigi binda hodil tadi ni di kuishi na khe hot yelthe binda hodil he ol intoni na antine chuk haje hol di nasni higi binina kadea gade ndasit khaanil tso lana nishot ado askedado ashone keno linigi lata ni masani hiche ni nala da thodeinzen la thoda ba banda ye ashode ado jut kon adadi ne nihilla tkhalla washto thobe thada kisa nigi jut tho at thogi khodo na khamasani hiche nala banda hi ki ho in zondo le got da halya do le shik do shidna ado kodo kanne ni kushle ashode kon hitsala do kwandal neshigi kuje zel ijido ndal neshigi ya de kuija 24/7 ndal neshla ado lachete skhe ado adan neshla ni keni nabi gadan hishne sada hallo ado ni joba inchke chikeno lini jadido ato konne tande de kuishi di nasni hat nigi ato kon de nebiki apaka konne ta ebini na ikat nakhandal neshigi kot nakhanda ha ado kodobe haneit shnabel ada halya akko kon sala je kon lata atin dat del kaldo dat del kalot akko dobi ga hajnida ni hitsala yego nakhandal nashot ashkhode dikad khayu ahandi kon nda achehot la shay andal nash jadini Washington Navajo Nation gi ail waltolel ebini na ekatla kon dal nash gi ahandin dal nash akosla ya don dal nasho ashkhode ahganen dasot kha ashkhode johot inda ni tin and ado kodo na de kido khayu ni hije kodalia ebini nadinal sosigi la hadlia di asa alhedalt di nda idol kidige ebini nanal sos bekadelia akko heshi ko adon nilia do the neck echela do bakata na hat ni do let juni he ado shikeno lini bilagana just sa juni hilbeda hazinigi kodo naha atha da hoslne ashwade kodoni he masani he cheni naldinal sos bilagana echeda bakagi which ashane dalle ni hidon he nan shalago at ashikeno lini ashwade akot alkedadet I do let da wil ya do let you know, many of you are staying at home and they've got children at home. Here's a time of teaching our way of life to our younger generation. The schools are closed. Schools are closed throughout the Navajo Nation. You know, through the whole school year, they're closed now, and there's going to be a lot of time for our students, our young people, to be at home. So here's an opportunity for us to teach them some knowledge, you know, knowledge and wisdom, right? I think knowledge we get from the schools, right? But wisdom is what we get from the household. So here's an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to, you know, pass some of that teaching that has been handed out from generation to generation to our young people. And then there's some help too with our elders out there. There's a lot of things to do around the house, I know. Livestock, preparing the farms, you know, and just fixing up for grandma and grandpa, hauling water and the like. And we just want, you know, this opportunity for everyone to be with family. And we've been saying that for some time now, focusing back on our family and our family teaching. And I think with the closure 3 weeks now into the next month, this whole month of April, you know, we have a great opportunity to share stories with our family members and doing things at home with each other. There's been a lot of questions that have come up, and as I mentioned at an earlier forum, we have this frequently asked questions. A lot of questions that have been asked are in this document, so I challenge you to read this. It's on our Navajo Department of Health, Navajo Nation Department of Health webpage. But those of you that submitted questions, I'll just go through a few of them, then we're going to put some of the other ones that are repetitive into our frequently asked questions. But one question that kept coming up, and Dr. Fowler will be talking about this shortly, she's the head of the Division of Human Resources, is about hazard pay. You know, we're in the process right now of scheduling and developing a hazard pay plan for our Navajo, those essential workers that are working right now, and that will come in. That will be put in place this week as well. So those of you that are, you know, advocating for hazard pay for those public safety personnel and those that are the front lines, we're going to be doing that for our Navajo Nation employees. I can't speak for other branches or other companies out there, but at least for the Navajo Nation employees, we'll be incorporating that for them. I mentioned in Navajo earlier, why do some schools require workers to show up and work still? Shouldn't all schools close down to be on the safe side? That was a question that we received. Yes, schools are closed, but in order for the school to close down for the season, right, it's going to be closed for the rest of the year. Some of those personnel are going to be coming down just to, you know, put things away, get their items stored away, the teachers, and, you know, really just begin to shut down the school. So that's why some of the staff are being told to go back to work. But I did say that, you know, those of you that are administrators and school board members, please allow your staff to go in there, you know, just a few at a time, maybe 5 or so at a time, and you can develop a rotation for them to close down the schools so that not everybody comes at the same time. Another question we received was, what are some things being planned about those who are unfortunate for financial assistance? Some have children that need special items for their homes. We're developing a resource page right now. As you know, that there's just so many resources coming in from a lot of states. If you live in New Mexico, you know, there's a unemployment, workforce aid there, state of Arizona as well, and Utah. And then with the 3 legislations that were approved, you know, there's some money to help out small businesses, big businesses, also tour businesses out there, families. You know, families are going to be getting a check from the federal government in terms of aid, and Vice President will go into that a little bit more. But, you know, we're going to develop a resource page so that you can go to that page and find your state or find resources that are available so you can go ahead and apply for those. And the federal government has approved much in terms of helping our United States citizens. And guess what, Navajo? We are U.S. citizens, right? We are the first citizens of this country, so we should be able to take advantage of that. The other question that we received was, could you also touch bases on the trash problem? You know, since a lot of our trash stations out there, the transfer stations are closed and they're overseen by the chapters. We're going to be talking with our Dr. Pearl Yellowman and seeing if we could be able to get some of our staff, you know, those that are going to get hazard pay, to man those transfer stations throughout the Navajo Nation. And ladies and gentlemen, please don't just throw your trash into the arroyos. I know that transfer stations are closed. We're going to be working with the counties right now to see if we can put some trash bins throughout the communities as well. We work with the counties on that, and including Division of Community Development. So please put your trash in. I know that some of the trash places are closed, but we're going to work very hard. But please don't just throw them in the arroyos or in the canyons out there. The other questions is what Chief of Police and Jesse Delmar will talk about in a bit about, when it's first of the month, everybody's getting paid, everybody's going to the stores, and also that means there's some folks that are going to, not listen, and they have a problem with substance abuse, and they'll be out in the streets loitering, and we're going to be cracking down on that as well. But I'll let public safety talk a little bit more about that. So just to make things a lot quicker, I'm just going to run down through the talking points that I developed. We're working again with the council. We have brochures that are being handed out. Billboards and electronic signs are putting the information for COVID-19 readiness and preparedness. If you probably noticed, there's some billboards that have information about COVID-19, staying at home, social distancing, and their electronic signs. So if you're a chapter official out there and then you want the program to put on your flashing billboard outside, let us know. We can share that program so you can put it on your chapter electronic board throughout the Navajo Nation. KTNN radio forums on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. We do updates and meetings and town halls like we're doing right now. So just social media is the best place to get news from updated news, factual news from the Navajo Nation government. So feel free to use that. I want to also mention a plea from our doctors and nurses. They asked us to share this message. They're saying, help them, those that are doctors and nurses, help them to tell everyone to stay home. Kayenta was getting a lot of people into their emergency rooms, Tuba City, Pinyon, many others, Gallup, Shiprock. And what they're saying is, please tell our people out there, help them by staying home. Navajo Department of Health, Emergency Operations, David Nez, Jill Jim, Paulson Chaco, and many others are doing their very best. Again, they're working around the clock for us, and Vice President and I, we're doing our bit in helping out with the emergency operations as well as facilitating some of these discussions. And Navajo Area IHS, who will be talking with us today, Brian will be talking. But I want to say also thank you, Rosalind, Brian, and Dr. Christensen, Loretta Christensen, for the hard work that you all are doing throughout the Navajo Nation. So keep in touch with us for daily announcements, press conference, radio forums, resource page is going to be coming up. There's a lot of rumors out there. Please, just regulate yourself, help each other, hold each other accountable. I know everybody's saying let the Navajo Nation government stop all these groups that are still meeting, but you do have an obligation too and a responsibility to go out there and ask nicely that they should abide by these ordinances. Don't just call the police, just hold everyone accountable. And I see a lot of people saying that, Grandma, you shouldn't go to the store, stay home. You're even telling your family members to stay home and abide. And I think that's the reason why, a lot of these numbers are not skyrocketing, off the charts, because many of you are abiding by the orders, the health orders and the executive orders that are in place. But, the numbers right now, with the new numbers that are out there since yesterday, there are 321 positive cases. That's a lot. That's one way too many. And then 13 deaths, and those are all complications from, their health problems that they have, and then they got COVID. And that's a lot of our relatives that have passed away from this pandemic. Please take this seriously. Take this seriously. We're a big nation. Those negative test results that came in 1,619 negative. And that's because of you abiding by the orders and staying home. And I want to say thank you for everyone who has been listening to leadership throughout the Navajo Nation. Not just us, healthcare professionals, and our council delegates as well. Vice President will talk about our letters to Congress and the Navajo economic stimulus team that we have, trying to get those dollars into the Navajo Nation that have been allocated for citizens of this country, and we're citizens, so we want to get the dollars that are supposed to come to each and every one of you. So the Navajo Nation COVID-19 preparedness meetings are on Mondays. All the chapters are able to call in, service providers to call in and get updates and see what everybody's coordinating on, so that everybody's on the same page for each and every one of you. So I want to know that those calls, let you know that those calls are being done, and our leadership are being involved in those discussions. So some of you are getting text messages on your cell phone. In order to get more of those, you can go and text, put it in the phone, put Navajo Nation and text that to 888-777. So type in Navajo Nation, no space, Navajo Nation, to 888-777. And that will get you to the Navajo Nation alert, the Navajo Department of Emergency Management. So sign up for that. That way you get text messages periodically about what's happening here, and those very important message of roadblocks and everything else that needs to go out to the Navajo public information-wise. Grand Canyon is closed. Chaco Canyon is closed. Canyon de Chelly closed. Hubble. All our tourism destinations here, our tribal parks are closed. So we're telling our visitors, there's nothing to see because all our places are closed here, and we're just letting them know that, we need you to abide by our laws here on the Navajo Nation with our shelter-in-place order, as well as our curfews. Funds and donations that have been coming into the Navajo Nation, as you know, $4 million of our own dollars have been allocated with the help of Navajo Nation Council, and we signed that into law. Those are supplies and care packages being purchased. Chilchimbito lockdown, Kayenta operation, Kayenta healthcare facility was a big priority. So those are donations that are coming in, as well as funds that are coming from various enterprises. For instance, we have donations coming in from $250,000 from Navajo Transition Energy Company with some coal distribution, APS, SRP, Tucson Electric Power, employees at the Four Corners Generating Station, $250,000. Diné Development Corporation, $500,000. NAPI, $1 million. NHA, $1 million, and many others. We just got from the University of Arizona, 250 test kits and supplies, and those are going to be out there going to our healthcare facilities. And there is also U of A's wanting to talk about getting some nurses and healthcare physicians to come out to Navajo to relieve those that have been working around the clock in Kayenta, Tuba City, and Chinle. Counseling services available, Department of Mental Health Services. This is a time that we should keep our children busy. I know that we have to talk to our children about what's going on. If you don't know how to have that discussion, call 928-810-7357, 928-810-9357. We can they can give you some tools so that you can speak to your children or your family members about what's happening here. I know there's a lot of fear, and we don't want this fear to follow many years down the road for our children. So we want to give you some of that aid. Let me transition back into Navajo real quick. kodo Allah nihik eni nado ka nakhandal neshigi ado nihika nachagi ya kun di businesses da yosye digila beso ye ka ije ado kun beso gi e kun nihik eni na nihit salada ado koje doctors nurses dan linigi jodin lajista banda hilni do di da egi di ndahilni hot jo e hot e do kosen schagi do bitte koda do nilta apa 750,000 enel na e hot beso ya kuna ya ite de nebiki ka jo e hot be dich ianda kon ni eni ne be ka na alwo ko sai she ya ani hibini ka ningi iro he jo hojit ego no hot anda ni tikin aro nappy di kuje nappy Navajo Area Agriculture Product Industry dag en skagi aden alla de mil sonel beso be ye kaije aro kuje housing authority in exchange do alla de mil sonel beso ye kaije development the net development corporation shla nezadin de mil ye beso ne la e an hije kode yilla aro kuje do APS beshi kon skagi aj da initiative do kuje tsinlishto tkoda aji kita des ingi APS SRP Tucson Electric agenda nishgi na kineza dindo wa ashla din de milia jenel ot ai kai ye kai je aro e got ane la 250,000 intake ne aro legendo ye kai je got e got ik eni ne agenda nishgi aro ni ka na chagi an kibeln deil na shot eshik enollini aroka allan hena halonde kodoshi als se de stildo kodo di dat egido kon hik eni hinne deil ja di sewing machine da bedal na egi edo ka de ni kit jo di kon khalshin ajshin la nakhadeil indo le toni hik en hidna khot edi ni massa ni hitchen yala bich inde ni to le khot ya ada halian do le aro kon shnit di kon atinigi dat del khalo la ya shla hastra just se bi ol kilo atinigi ya dandel khal aro bin goshla ol kilo andal I haganen da so tra no hot da ilia dik at nana the more gonna do the more bis kana gonna ishi hot del net or less 24 hours hot shi that del castle less on hit $1,000 juk adeshi kan hit yando ni da halon da so ni hot ya ada il net or less enoslini so ashi konson here hannen hit kushleto less ko you hanna out ashik enoslini konda kodon khandal neshigi jo ishi ba how after less kodoni ashane de leto less de leto less kodo yindal neshigi ado adishni kui chishin so that dolzen he large dik at the more at la shi la church on da khegi la shi don khabiga ta jukat do sahande itleta shinda da konde di bindal kidigi binda shinna ado di in bezad ba hon don hit kuilan le kinsande large pastor in Lenigi Joshua Greg Ponderosa Baptist Church in Zunagoshi Zunagon his hon do di in bezad kodo behada inosna no hot ani hijahad zi ado ade jodi kui anilsko hit so da zin hallo ado ishi behada inosna jodi in bezad inni ya le Philippians bi din ko na ado bikede verses igi etra tsata kone ne Christ sitzilgo ishosini bet skone deslil ko benesh jo di yin yisi basalla di yin sko belbehozn di nal nigi ai da belbehozn chini hi sidchi benina ot do bantdi bantde kes nilsko alka neja hel elkilindel nashan jonego yedel tkhia oyo badasi na da benina akoda hot in quinzen jo hot ashik enoslini akonde be hadaino snedisa nihido kodo sa nihje kodel negi kodendel ihigi be hadaino sna benihitzi shik enoslini so akonso shi o altsgo desh lito kodoshi ya nihi vice president nihje hatzi to les I want to end with leaving you with some words of encouragement. You know, we persevere. We'll persevere through this. I don't know why this is happening. We just don't know why, but God knows. Our Heavenly Father knows. Our Creator knows why this is. He already knew that this was going to happen, and so we just put our faith in our prayers. Put our faith in our Creator, that we know that we will overcome. You know, maybe, just me speaking, maybe this is a wake-up call for all of us, we as people are going astray and speaking negativity into our households and the social media. Those are things that you think about as leaders. And we don't help each other as we used to, even our neighbors, we live close to each other, we don't help each other. This is actually forcing us to stay at home and be with family, and maybe this is one way that we all can rekindle and remind ourselves that we need each other during this time, that we have the ability through God to overcome what we're going through. Philippians, Apostle Paul went through confinement, but he still was looking at the hope that he had in God, that he will one day get out of jail and one day see the Creator face to face, and many of us see that happening here, is that, we'll overcome this. And then, we will one day see the Creator, but we're doing everything right now that not too soon, right? We don't want to see the Creator not too soon, but it's in His will and His power. But we're wanting to let everybody know, cling on to your faith, whatever that faith is, and hang on tight and pray for our first responders. Pray for the people out there, that they will get rested and they will be safe and have good health, so that we can fight this virus that has taken over the world and taking over many parts of the United States and then taking parts of our Navajo Nation. But by listening to our elders, I think we would have seen higher numbers here. But our prayers are being answered, and continue to pray. And I challenge you, I know that many preachers and pastors will not say this in public, but I'll say this in public, is join me. Join me in fasting and praying for the nation. I'm going to start right now in 24 hours fasting and not eating any food and just praying for our nation, praying for our people out there that are on the front lines, and praying that we will overcome this and no more deaths in our community, no more positive cases. Join together in fasting and prayer and in fellowship with our Heavenly Father here today. So thank you so much for listening to me, your President Jonathan Nez, on our weekly, or now it's daily updates, our forum here. And take care of each other. Thank you for staying home. And I'm going to conclude by saying that, we love you. We love you. Please listen. Stay home. Hold each other accountable out there. You have that ability. You don't have to rely on leadership. Hold each other accountable. your aunt, your uncle, your brother, your sister, someone in your family wanting to go drive and go leave, just tell them, hey, help us stay safe. Help us keep our elders safe, keep our children safe, keep our families safe by staying home. God bless you, and God bless our great Navajo Nation. Vice President Myron Lizer.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. What a great message. And there you go. You had it. You heard it right here. Our very own leader, our president, has said, stay home. And so those of you who have an ear to hear, let them hear. Happy Palm Sunday to you all, the year 2020, year of our Lord. The extraordinary times calls for extraordinary measures. I just want to, I guess, I was kind of asked to do some things and highlight some things, but right off the tails of our president's message, I feel led to, you know, I guess maybe offer some encouragement. As you know, today is Palm Sunday, and many would be celebrating in our churches as it winds up, starts the week off for, you know, a very holy time for a lot of our churches and believers, and many seek, you know, a higher echelon of spiritual awareness, and so this is certainly that time. But extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, and so from the office of the president, vice president, you just heard our very own president say, you know, pray, you know, fast, you know, seek our Heavenly Father, our Creator, because He knows all things. And so it doesn't get any more important than that, to have a leader that has been placed here by our Creator for such a time as this. Many have been sending us countless words of encouragement, countless words of thoughts of prayer, and you know, we know that God had ordained this time. God knew that this pandemic was coming, and leaders were put in place, and you know, and we happen to be just maybe a little bit above your normal leader as far as spirituality, prayer, fasting, you know, seeking the Lord, and listening, and just, you know, looking for words of encouragement, and able to offer them. And so certainly we're here in that time. So, but lining up with a little bit what, you know, even the vice president, I have to be obedient as well. And so the president said I would mention some letters to Congress. And so I will. We have sent numerous letters, and we're preparing them even now, because our situation will change and the numbers will change. But we're requesting from our congressional delegation and those that would be decision makers for us to send us, please, rapid testing capability here on Navajo, to enhance it, to give us the ability to test these and shorten our turnaround days from 3 to 7 days to, you know, it'd be great if it was 45 minutes or less, right? And so we hear about those, we see it on our news, you know, television that we're watching, news programs about how testing is getting quicker and quicker, except not here in Indian country, so we really need that. We've sent letters to our congressional delegation on personal protection equipment. The burn rate in which the supplies are being used right now is just, it's getting just down where our inventory levels are very low. Yesterday we were with President Chinle and Colonel Leeper from the Arizona National Guard, brought some personal protection equipment and gave it to the Chinle Health Facility there, and he'll be giving some more to the Kienta Health Facility. But these are donations, these are what they can find in Phoenix, and people are readily sending them out, and so it continues to happen. We get numerous calls, people saying, you know, we want to help, we live in Snowflake, we live in, you know, Prescott, we live in Tucson, and we want to help. Even across the country, people are saying we want to help. And so please reach out to those that you know, and if people are sending you those inquiries, let them know and steer them towards the Office of the President, Vice President, where we can steer them down to our chain of command. We've also wrote letters requesting more medical stations. We just recently set up with the National Guard a 50-bed unit of alternative care that will be given them more capability and more capacity. And so also a letter on more medical personnel. We're requesting more medical personnel for our hospitals. As you know, they're getting inundated with more cases, but they're also you know, maybe being exposed, being compromised, and so they have to take themselves out. And this is vital, essential medical personnel, medical staff that has been putting themselves on 14-day quarantines and the like, and maybe even some of them are testing positive. So we're losing staff, and we're hoping to replenish those with more additional staff, whether they come from IHS and be sent here nationally, or from the Arizona National Guard, or the military. So we're needing all those, and so just to honor what President had said that I should touch upon. But beyond these measures, governments need to offer calm assurance that they will invigorate the economy post-crisis. I was looking at my notes from many meetings, and I saw this portion there. Beyond these measures, governments need to offer calm assurance that they will reinvigorate the economy post-crisis. After the crisis, aggressive fiscal stimulus will be imperative, and so we know about that. And so one of the things that we'll work on here at Navajo is to de-bureaucratize Navajo, right? Get rid of the red tape. We've heard it all along. Now I think at the highest levels, at the highest urgent matters, we really need to look at that. How can we de-bureaucratize Navajo? So we'll be about that. And we need to prioritize those who need the support and the services the most right now. And so we've been about that. And so, again, I could go on and maybe regurgitate some of the things that our president has said, and some of the leaders I'll be stealing a little bit of their thunder, what they're going to be talking about. And so I'll leave all those technical aspects to all of those people that will come after me here shortly. But this being, again, Palm Sunday, I wanted to have an encouraging message maybe. As you know, many churches today celebrate Palm Sunday, which is always the Sunday before Easter. Many of us will be celebrating at home this year due to the coronavirus quarantine that has swept over our nation and the globe. On the heels of Palm Sunday today, as we begin this Holy Week, may we constantly be reminded of its significance and value for our lives today. That very important day in history when Jesus began his journey towards the cross. We pray that all of you will be able to use this time to reflect on the significance of this week leading up to Easter Sunday next week, the day that Jesus Christ rose again and after his crucifixion. What a glorious time this is for believers. Now, maybe you've been having a hard time in dealing with this very important need to sequester yourself and to stay home, to self-quarantine yourself or your families. Let me offer that this should be a time until that threat has left us where we can enjoy our families, enjoy the quiet, enjoy one another. We've gotten away from now the hustle and the bustle of this loud, sometimes chaotic world, right? I've seen pictures on the internet where it showed Los Angeles and all the smog, and even in Cheyenne, all the smog of the factories and the vehicles were emitting. And, it was a time-lapse photo, and then 3 weeks later, it was a little bit clearer, and then now today, it was like pristine LA, blue skies, right? Clear as day, and it's like, wow, really our Creator is trying to send us a message that maybe didn't we've been focused on some of the wrong things, right? Our jobs, our careers, our other lives, that we lead, just certain things that take us away from the true meaning of what it is to live a life. I've heard a saying once that, man, I was so busy trying to live my life, I forgot how to live. And so, Creator knows. He'll send us back and put us back to the basics. But can I encourage you that this be a time that some of those, and I want to remind you too, we've seen it, some of us have these masks, right? People are creating neat new facial masks, and they're buying fabric, they're going to the store and they're sewing these things up and they're giving them away. And I thought, wow, that's love displayed at the highest level, is just giving of themselves and spending some time and resources and giving a gift of love to someone to keep them safe. Man, that is love at its highest level. So I love those opportunities, and those are opportunities that we could all feel around our communities. And there'll be others that come up with other ideas in which they can bless their communities, like taking food. Some of us have been activated to take food and take it out to families that aren't able to go and get food themselves. And so you all know, Shedene, those kinds of peoples that are out there struggling. What if we all take into account the safety protocols, maintaining safe distances, 6 feet, right? Mask, gloves, taking every precaution, and then taking a gift package, taking some food, taking, even a good word, go out to some family members that you've had difficulty with in the past, right? Tense relationships. Just go out and say, hey, I'm checking on you. Wow, that'll speak volumes. And so let me remind you something that was brought to my attention today. And as the president says, there was some church on TV, right? We all have access to our TVs. We all have access to church. We don't have to go and don and go through some doors of a church we will feel really uncomfortable in, right? Man, Creator set us up for a perfect entrance into the church in our home, our TV screen. And so let me remind you today that some of Paul of the Bible, right? Some of his work that was written in the Bible was done while he was quarantined, if you will. While he was in prison. Even our own president mentioned that. And so while he was away from the noise of the world during this time in history, way back in the biblical days there, he wrote the letters to the Ephesians and to the Philippians and to the Colossians. And these were all churches, right? But he also took the time while in prison there to write to an individual. He wrote to Philemon. You see, and now these letters that Paul penned all addressed specific needs in the first century church there, and for those first century Christians. The message of these prison letters is still influential and instructional to believers living today. You see, there was also William Shakespeare. Did you know that 3 of his greatest works were written during a time of quarantine, back in the days of the plagues that were relentless and that, sometimes got rid of a quarter of the world's population? That William Shakespeare, even himself, in quarantine, hiding from a plague, sequestering himself from a plague in his time in history, he wrote The Year of Lear. He wrote Antony and Cleopatra. And he wrote Romeo and Juliet. Wow, some of his greatest works were penned during a quarantine. And so maybe there's something that you can do. Maybe write a journal. Who knows what great work is deep inside you waiting to get out. And so in this journaling, maybe record all the events and thoughts that you're going through, and some of the things that as you work through your day at home there, preserve this for a future time that you'll be able to share with your family and your loved ones, your grandchildren, right? And they'll be able to peer into your thoughts, peer into what you were thinking when we were going through this. And so maybe someday you can write up some postcards, right? We're spending all day alone, sequestered, and if we're not watching TV, and I get it, we need TV for the updates, but take some time, as President says, to turn off the noise of the world, the chatter of the world, and seclude yourself. And I think this is what this all is meant to be, is for us to sit back and to reflect and to look for opportunities in which we can maybe sit in solitude and listen. As you remember, the last update I gave that scripture, be still and know that I am God, right? I think these are times that we can certainly use this. And so especially in this time of this corona crisis, maybe, someone that you fell out of touch with, you could sit down now because you have the time and you're not busy going from job to job, going from, the children's plays and the children's games and athletic events and, parent-teacher conferences, and then getting home and, fixing a meal and not really having the time. So now we have the time. So I urge you, whatever those things that you felt like you didn't have time for, man, stop and pray about it. And see if there's something that you can do right now because, well, you have the time. So, and these are just some of the things that you can do. From the office of the President and Vice President, we encourage you to stop and really contemplate now. Not fearfully, right? Because God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And so, lastly, I want to leave you with this scripture. Comes from Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 21 through 32. In this here, Jeremiah writes these laments as he watches the intense suffering of God's people and the utter devastation of Jerusalem and the temple. He does not question God's justice in sending this suffering. Instead, in the middle of all this suffering, he celebrates God's faithfulness and unfailing love. And in verse 21, again, this is Lamentations chapter 3, verse 21 through 32. verse 21, yet this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. 22, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. It is good for a man to bear the yoke while he is young, verse 27, and let him sit alone in silence, for the Lord has laid it on him. Let him bury his face in the dust, and there may yet be hope. Let him cover his cheek to one who would strike him, and let him be filled with disgrace, for no one is cast off by the Lord forever. Though he brings grief, he will show compassion, talking about the Lord. So great is his unfailing love. And so from the office of the President, Vice President, and this Vice President here, encourage you to stay home, stay safe, save lives. Yalla.
Jesse Delmar in Shia. My name is Jesse Delmar. I am the Division Director for the Navajo Division of Public Safety. First of all, I want to thank Key Allen Begay, the Council Delegate, for a really strong message and also a strong prayer for us. And the President and also the Vice President for their spiritual messages. First of all, I was sitting here listening to the Vice President just a while ago, and it really uplifted me, what he talked about, which is, as a person, it really uplifted me, and I'm very thankful for that. In these times of need, I know that people are really listening for information as to what's happening from the Navajo Nation side. I know that you people are always on a daily basis looking for information. So what I'm here to tell you is what we're doing as the Navajo Division of Public Safety, what we do and what we are doing and on a daily basis. I want to express to my people, or the people I work with the Navajo Division of Public Safety. There are actually 7 departments under this division. The first one is the police department, which is run by the Chief of Police, Philip Francisco. The Navajo Nation Department of Corrections their director is Dr. Dolores Gray Eyes. Navajo Nation Department of Criminal Investigations is directed by Michael Henderson. Navajo Nation Fire Department is by Chief Larry Chi. Navajo Nation Emergency Medical Services is by Director Henry Wallace. Our Navajo Nation Department of Emergency Management is by the Acting Director Harlan Cleveland. Then our Internal Affairs and support staff, our Internal Affairs is run by Kathy Yazi. Then we serve different functions as far as a public safety entity is concerned. First of all, the police, their primary duty right now, other than their normal duties and responsibilities in this time of crisis, primarily what they're doing and what we're doing is trying to contain this virus by telling people to stay home, by telling people to stay home as much as possible. We at the police department, we are doing all we can in trying to do some enforcement and in trying to advise people to stay home. But we need your help as the Navajo people, as the Navajo public too as well. I appreciate some of you and all of you, maybe all of you, encouraging one another that we need to be in compliance with what we're telling you, and some of you are doing that. as much as you can, and I want to tell you that we really appreciate that. I know that we can overcome this by all of us coming together and helping one another and listening to some of the things that we're telling you. We can do this, and we can save lives too as well. What I want to tell you too is, from my observation, I think we're doing containment as best as we can, and we're very successful. And presently, we're dealing with people who were exposed, let's say about 7 days ago. They're coming around to the phases of their symptoms becoming more serious. Those numbers are starting to come around too as well, but I like to think, and I tell people that as far as containment is concerned, the Navajo Division of Public Safety has a lot of input in this, and we're doing our best to this day in trying to do containment. Then we do respond for medical services too as well. And I praise our emergency medical service people who respond out to these communities. As all of us know, the first positive case that we received as Navajo people was within the community of Chilchimbito. Then expanded from there into the areas, surrounding areas, to include Kayenta. And I have a daily briefing with my staff, and I talk with the EMS supervisor from the western area, and he keeps me informed of everything that is happening out there. It varies on a daily basis. Sometimes he reports that, people coming into the Kayenta facility is steady. Then it surges and just up and down. But last I've heard yesterday was that it was steady again, and it was a low steady. That was pretty promising to hear from Kayenta. Then, of course, there's some of us too from that area who has been affected by this personally, and that this is affecting you and your families on a personal basis too as well. And it's really hard and very difficult to deal with, knowing, one could be exposed by another. So we're trying to avoid that as best as we can, and this virus, we're trying to deal with it as best as we can. And then on a daily basis too, I talk with other people, like the state people, the county people, and the local municipalities too, within the 3 states that we function. This is daily, and it's. I think we're successful in working with these entities, these law enforcement entities, these emergency management and medical emergency services entities. That interaction with them by us as a Navajo Division of Public Safety is daily. Then, of course, with the departments, those relevant departments within the Navajo Nation, for instance, Division of Social Services, Navajo Division of Health, and all of these entities who are relevant. The Nebeta Initiative Ajin Del Nishigi, we work very closely. I think all of us know that we are headquartered out of the Navajo Department of Health facility here in Window, and we have a emergency operations center that was established here and pretty much organized under the incident commander, Dave Nez. We work with Dave on a daily basis too as well. Then he's got his organization structured throughout Navajo. Then at the local levels, on working with our Navajo Nation Department of Emergency Management, we have incident centers, command centers throughout too as well. So, and that's how the operation is going. Then I work with you and we talk on a daily basis, and even at night too. Some incident or some issue arises, we deal with it, and we plan on some of the things that we are encountering, becoming issues too as well. And I really appreciate your encouragement and working with us, and your wanting to help us too as well. So I appreciate that. And then it seems that people are really wanting information on a daily basis. And I want to tell you this, that the Facebook, I know not everybody has access to Facebook, this technology. Sometimes I think on twice at least every week, we get on the radio. We're on the radio, not only here, but everywhere else, explaining the circumstances, explaining updates too as well. But if you have Facebook, keep monitoring the OPVP, which is the President and Vice President's Facebook. There's a lot of information on there, a lot of updated, current information. From the Navajo Division of Public Safety, Chief of Police has established his own Facebook too as well. That is very informational. It's very up to date. The lady that keeps all the information updated, her name is Ms. Sosi from our office. She does a really good job in maintaining our Facebook. So with that, some of the things that are going on right now as far as curfew, enforcement, containment things, road activities, and trying to tell people to stay put. Our Chief of Police, Philip Francisco, is here right behind me. He'll explain that in detail as to what we're doing. But I really appreciate this opportunity. And let's all stay home, and we can beat this. I know we can. Because what really encourages me personally too is the faith base, the faith part, the spiritual part. And I believe in it, and I call upon the Lord on a daily basis and asking for protection, asking for guidance, and asking for comfort.
Good afternoon. This is Philip Francisco, the Chief of Police for the Navajo Police Department. So I just want to give a kind of an update and some more information about our enforcement effort. First of all, the situation, we've seen people starting to comply, but there's a lot of people out there still not in compliance with the orders given by the Health Command and the President's Office to stay home. We're still seeing church gatherings, non-essential travel, and people trying to make runs to the stores and different things after curfew hours. So I want to, again, reaffirm that we are starting enforcement, and we have last night. And to give you a little bit more of a description of exactly what that enforcement looks like, I'll explain what the citations will be. So in order to enforce this, we are looking at the Health Command and the President's Office order. Violations of that order will be a criminal nuisance charge. It can be a citation, and we also have the ability to arrest if we feel necessary. The penalty for that is 30 days incarceration and or $1,000 fine if you're found guilty by the courts. So understand this is a pretty hefty fine and pretty hefty incarceration time, and we do not want to get to that point. But if we're continuing to see non-compliance, we will move forward with those charges. We're also going to be still doing checkpoints out of the roads day and night. You'll see more of those throughout the Navajo Nation to discourage the travel and actually check on if your travel is essential or not. Again, we will issue citations if needed if we find out you're traveling unnecessarily. This is just to reaffirm the health order and protect you. I also want to issue a warning also. Priority for my officers is their safety and their well-being. I just want to make everybody aware that if somebody knowingly or negligently exposes my officers to this virus, we will seek charges to the full extent of the law. Those charges would be battery on a police officer, which is a tribal charge, and also, depending on the situation, we could ask for federal charges to be sought. Those federal charges actually have federal prison time attached to it. So I'm taking my officers' safety very, very seriously, and I will pursue those with the U.S. Attorney's Office and the tribal prosecutors to make sure people do not put my officers in undue danger. Our first responders are working very hard every day and put themselves at risk 24/7. They also have their own concerns for their own health and their families. And I brought an officer here today to kind of explain what they're doing on the front lines. They have families, they have friends that they have to go home to, but yet they don't have a choice. They have to come out and provide these services to you in the community, and they're having to be exposed to COVID-19, which is very concerning for them. If we continue to ignore these orders given by the Health Command, my officers will be unnecessarily exposed to this virus. The potential is they will get sick and be taken off the road. At a worst case scenario, we may not have a police force to respond to emergencies. So when you call, nobody will be there to respond. This doesn't just apply to police officers, but it applies to EMS, fire, and other rescue services, including the hospitals. If they are overtasked, there's going to be no health professionals, there will be no equipment, and there'll be no bed space to take care of your loved ones if they get sick. This is why we're asking for compliance. So right here today I have Officer Begay with Window Rock Police District to kind of give an insight of what our officers on the front line do every single day. So please listen to her. I'm pleading you to comply with these orders so we don't put our frontline officers and staff in danger, so we can move through this crisis safely. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Begay. I work in the Window Rock District, as Chief of Police mentioned. From what I've seen, just out on patrol, it is a little concerning that people are still out and about driving. I see cars with packed vehicles, 3 or 4, people in there, and it's alarming for me. Since I have to work, I'm essential, I do have to go home. After every shift, I take the extra precautions, as many of you should, to clean yourself, wash your hands and stuff as you go out once you're done grocery shopping. But as it has been mentioned before, that the shopping should be done alone. I don't know how many times I've seen people with packed vehicles driving around to Gallup, around Window Rock, especially. It's important that we follow the guidelines as they're constantly repeated. With the limited supplies that we all have, with the rural community that we have to work in, we understand that people have to go out and have to go travel and get the supplies they need. But that should be limited, and for us to stick together and to get this to get through this all together as not only as a community, but as a Navajo Nation and as the nation within the United States. With the numbers constantly rising, it worries me a bit more with family who does have underlying medical conditions, that I'm worried that I may take it home or I may not have to work for a while if I happen to contract the virus. So it is concerning that a lot of people still aren't taking this seriously. And just a lot of the precautions are going to be repeated, and I urge the community, not only in Window Rock, but within the whole Navajo Nation, to heed these concerns and to take this seriously as we all try to deal with it. So just stay strong, stay safe, and we'll get through this together.
Good afternoon. My name is Jill Jim. I am the director for the Navajo Department of Health. I am originally from Navajo Mound, and I just wanted to share with everyone and reiterate the same messages that we've been indicating for the last couple of days and weeks, is basically to stay home. Stay home and protect yourself and protect others. By going out and traveling, you're putting yourself at risk, you're putting your family at risk, you're putting your community at risk and the whole Navajo Nation at risk by continuing to not follow instructions, by staying at home and not practicing precautions in the community. There are 3 different stages of prevention in public health. And this emergency prevention is basically, if you haven't get COVID-19, what are some ways to prevent getting COVID-19? And that means staying home is the primary one. Also, if you do go out in the community and you're seeking to get essential services such as food, gas, or whatnot, make sure you have hand sanitizer wipes or continually wash your hand or wear gloves. Now everyone is also recommended to wear the cloth mask here. I just took it off for this afternoon, but those are the new guidelines from the CDC to protect yourself in the community. So those are the one segment. If you're wanting to prevent COVID-19, there's a lot of recommendations. If you are feeling sick and you're not sure if you have COVID-19 or think that you are self-monitoring, those are other precautions you have to take at home. Meaning you probably have to take care of yourself at home, isolate yourself, monitor yourself, keep monitoring your temperature, your symptoms, and then when you feel like you might need to seek medical assistance, call ahead to a hospital, indicate you're going. Also understand when you get to a hospital, you might have different ways of accessing care. And so just being aware of your healthcare resources. And if you have COVID-19 and you're in the hospital, you will be receiving care at that point. But when someone does get discharged, there are also another level of care when people are recovering. So recovering is also very important after if a patient has had COVID-19 or flu-like symptoms. So there's different stages of some sort of process as far as understanding COVID-19 as the Kosantagi Anas Ada. So, and all the kids at home, just understand, just continue to listen to our messages and inform your elders. So, Ado hot a shik edo shizne ehe non kedini do nando. It's Ispahayan J. Kabik Dr. Jill Jimmy in Shadoka. Dice not I had non Kadini donan. Ado Kwadi, the Kosantagi Nas Ada Holyaniki Kwadi, Aton Kidnago Aya, Ato hate Ada the Kosolyaniki, but Anj and Doc Kego A on Hinholni do Kwa, Ada Haslian do Kwadi. The arch on the Kedo, I want the nice sort of and he lot is do Hawanda, Hawanda at the Indo, what Abanak, what art the Ilshi day, do are you Kati, Hawanjet done him, Hick Ada, do hate the visit that's done his and that's a hot alge. Ado Hadi, a cut a bits anje Kati, Hatch anje did the cousin Sagi, Hutchis in Goti. Da Haslian Deya. Ado did the cousin Sagi, not a that's a hoodle net and zone aya are Kati, who want the Hutchins at the task at Dodi, Kati room and the as Dada are Kata had temperature that let the big is there's in door ice is the ingojins on ada where Yego Trani go ada a con large hotel neto la Alan Zel enable neto ha sheet arca the Ajaga a qua Ajodi Banahas on that a the cost the cost that and had not that no coachod. The dean not hot at ni adot do cost had long a coach the dean not the hot at ni hot aban such a case so ado hat khani ka Ezel Egypt is da ha Ezel in ha halyan do ado chinja da ha do nanat ado khadi da hun zindo da hun da halyan do khadi khab ha hol Ezel in hol na do haln hel do hot aban city case so shin de khadi hot enda di khadi yise big at the hanal in ha want the nice sort also hot Asian day hot bedelne so hot they di isni ani behatas do ich het non gedient ni do non David Nez incident commander for the health command operations center in Hitcha thoughts ich het non
Yate ado kodo ishitechi she yadi koche lange nanish the hazlingi lange nashit iltien ko she ya incident commander nagida kodo tsaka ho zando health command center hatni go ya the quigo shin nanish the hazlingi benache di kodo lange the quishin hida hiltien go da da te go da buje go kodo bilteni nish at sehegi AD command staff will hegi AD kodo liaison officer jo AD nan le dan ade Washington hata huis so de akut ego yadi ade dahalnegi do ade hatishi be ka do wullegi jo koje hichin nego ko egin bendanish aro safety officer but di kon na nation linegi nge atahuis ago ari ni khateka ko hashit ego ndahon ado di tsisni to hat nenegi jo agot ego yigo de ka ko aje hot ego haiki da des aro ya nge PIO bet ne HD ko je ya kodon hilta halne donald so na hata yini le ko are ni tratashin also sane teto are ya da halne di kodo Bashne gido ngein chalne bido ko akut ego ya ni che isane de nilsen hotel holjish arodi kuche operation bete neni gido wo khayin tne akon re kayako di kayatrago achita hoti zogo jodi kon ya ni nalshe da hollo kodo Navajo Nation employees bete neni gido are Negede Washington lateni ka anda jagi ko ego hilndel nishigi te aro nege hatishi be hada dol chlo be dol wolligi hoda tegi je tabe dol aro peso ya halianegi lona are peso ni che hoda enegi do hatishi ya chiya dani ich hoda enegi je peso gi aje panda ilegi da hoda tegi ngai kita des ako ego ya di kodon shishil khaz ado akonde di kodo bahashne ki to se pigo kodo da inishiki jo ado tenne biyado o yigo ban nada nishiko da ni tla go akonde jo da ye na hoti do dan hi atla si zenegi jo yisi ben yegi akomba ben hilta wilne according to zel embel khata soje nge IHS tabdi nenigido aro 638 aje anhe ni hospital gotego contract dalia we in hit nen khate ni shikota ko da tego thaza ta ko tego as il ensenal ako jo ko ya ade da no ya del kosodo da tagota yan tsisni kako ntsi betrahani kako jo da ade in khadin na lagodan yilne laje hulne ko ta jo be hozen doi the net ne ade benedile wala shi bitsa ako ego ya aren hiltahalna ya ko khato shi aro shen dan hitel kha eben nach ebenina edo haisi tli ari ya ne ya tahaki ako zel inigi abla nil asit le ko ebenina edi koje khalet ego le khale ya so Nihide ne ba na haya do le jo yisi بناديل نشكتو يسيت ليجي بنينا جو زي الإيغون شيلا أو ينخا تا يادو أرو ييغوني تخاوني كاوجين لا تلوغون شيلا ألنا أكوند أكوي أتيتاني تلا إبنينا إيا إيدي حاج ودنات أو تلقي جو إيكو إبنديل نشكت أرو آده دي كورونا الصوصهن تهكي جو إيدي هواده صوتا آدو بنيهكو جانا خالا تي تسيسني تو ننيجي جو النبت خايلن خاشين زاش بغل النبي غاش جدغاه تو تاكو يدا له بجلتشيكو اكمودا خلون كتا جو تاغو ياد خاتا هولا اكو بني ناشي خدان هيتي نيدو أرون غيرو ناليها بها واندا هول تسيسو جو هو إلا إسكالو التقادو دادت إسكال أتلاندا أوتلي لو كودا تيندي التقون هودا ليا جو بني يهكي إيا أرو هيلنال تيجو وتيغو إتسكيلو نيتخايل نيجي بنينا كوت أكو بنينا كو إكي يغو نانشكوت أدو إيا حتى هات إيكي أكو تكويو شين الكيهونا وكتيغو إيان نخندال نشيكي كتيغو نيتخاتيكا آدو واشنطن دو تكويو شين يكا دو ولتو نخيل كتو نيكا دو لوليكي جو هتهكي أكو ييغو باهيني تزندو آدو كتو نخينات آني President Myron جو هتا إيا لاجن كنت إيا واشنطن داوتسخا أتاويسوكو كنت إيا نخيلت كيتو آدو نخا آدو إيا نخنها آلتو أكون هي كده نشتغلون ده عندي خدمة بتخاطر جو شيء كده آج لاج نغسز أكو كده بين شتهجي إيا دينال نشين لنجي سي بخاصن آدو بالشين دهالو آدو قاشين تسوق هواد بالناس آلتو إبننا إبها السندو سدابان تسوق كيس قاشين تاو إنه تهكي تو جدو هاي زل إيغو جو إني الإسد سي دلي إبننا إيا كويك باوليا خال سي ويو يناكخن يدناكخن هالون قلت إيغو كون بتا إلنيو نهيكي تدز كو إيكي سين نخبايا نفسن حالا آنخي أتلاني تزنكو دي دكوسن تساقي نال نهيكي جو آنخي نهودي لنيلو دي كورونا الصوصة تاهي نلقي بالنهجة أكو كوت دوليل آرو حيه بدشن كوي جندي ولبيدات جاشي نهوتين جاشي خاشين تسوشين ييغو بنتسكيسن جو كوند هنان نشتي نيلزن كو هوت دوليل كي هوت كيه كودو داي سولتساكي.
Good afternoon. I'm Captain Brian Johnson. I serve as the Acting Deputy Area Director for the Navajo Area Indian Health Service in St. Michael's, Arizona. I've been working here on the Navajo Nation since 2005 and appreciate the opportunity to continue working with the Navajo people. Today I just wanted to go ahead and continue with our updates. We all know with the COVID-19 situation that it continues to expand. We continue to see more cases. And again, when we look at this particular disease, I also just want to make sure that everyone's aware that this is a new disease that we were dealing with and that we've never had to deal with before, whether we're talking about nationally or internationally. So with the Indian Health Service, of course, we've been working diligently on this particular situation, seeing early cases, having early detection, and some of our work dates back into the January time frame and have been actively addressing patients since that time, planning, preparedness through the current day. I just wanted to make a comment that with the Indian Health Service, we're actually looking at this and addressing this outbreak and with this particular disease with a three-pronged strategy, which includes prevention, detection, and treatment. I'm going to talk just a little bit about prevention, a little bit more anyway. When we talk about prevention, this is what you and the public can be involved in. All of us, each individual, whether you're talking about at the individual level at your own home, for example, or if you're looking at the neighborhood level or community level. There are things all of us can do as individuals to prevent this disease. In terms of detection, what I'm talking about there is our laboratory testing. When one goes into the provider or a physician, you go to see your physician and you feel ill. If you meet certain criteria that align with this particular disease, then we do testing. And there are specific laboratory testing procedures that we use. And so it's in the detection capability is very important. And of course, treatment. I'll just go back for a moment and remind everyone that we still do not have a vaccine for this disease, and that will take some time. There's lots of research that has to be performed, lots of different types of testing, and we will not see that soon. But so the vaccine, we do not have that. So when we talk about treatment, we're talking about for ill people who come down with this disease, the supportive treatment, the supportive care that's provided at our facilities through our providers. I really just want to focus, again, I try to keep the message somewhat simple. When we talk about COVID-19 as a disease, whether we call it a germ, whether we call it a virus, I've heard some people call it a bug. But it's a virus, and it's one that we can individually, when I talk about prevention, we can prevent this disease. But it's our decision as humans. Do we want to do the actions and take the actions necessary to stop the disease from progressing? This disease is primarily transmitted from human to human. And so it's important when we talk about, we've all heard the terminology or the term stated, social distancing. We've heard folks talk about shelter in place. We've heard other comments about staying home. Whether we're saying any of these different phrases, they all mean the same thing, and that is keep a social distance. Keep a healthy distance from those around you to the extent possible. This disease is fairly unique in that an infected person early on will not know they're infected with the disease. And if you are close by, if you're in close range within 2 or 3 feet, if the person is shedding, we'll hear shedding the virus. It's basically the virus is coming off of that person through coughing, through sneezing. Then you can be directly exposed. We know that droplets are the way that it gets transmitted from humans to humans. So that's why we say keep a healthy distance of 6 feet or greater from those around you when at all possible. The droplets don't normally carry 6 feet. They might fall out in 2 or 3 feet. So it's important to understand that. And I know that we've said that over and over, and we'll continue to spread that message in order to stop this disease. We've had a number of individuals have called to complain or just make comments to our office about individuals continuing to meet in group settings, or continuing to go to retail stores when there's many people there. And of course, we are concerned about that. Certain retail stores, I've seen lots and lots and lots of vehicles, knowing that people, we all still have the need for essential goods and services, such as obtaining groceries for our families. But it's important that we try to find those times when we're less exposed to others. Because again, we just don't know of any person that you come around whether or not they have been exposed and possibly infected and possibly shedding the virus that I was talking about earlier. So for example, when we talk about going to retail stores, something that you can do as a prevention activity, rather than taking your entire family into a retail store, perhaps only one individual go in if it's buying groceries, for example. That way there's less people in the grocery store, there's more space for people to spread out and not be directly exposed, and trying to keep that 6-foot distance. I cannot stress the importance of the social distancing. So when schools released, they released for a reason. This is very unusual, as we all know. In many cases, the schools have released for the remainder of the school year. The reason they've done that is for social distancing. That's getting the children, the students, away from one another. It's getting them to their respective homes and keeping that safe distance. So again, trying to work with the Navajo Nation leadership, state and federal leaders as well, when we talk about distancing yourself, please follow that and acknowledge that prevention is key in this particular situation. Also, although it continues to be a basic strategy, we talk about the importance of hand washing. And again, cannot overstress how important hand washing is for individuals. We continue to say if you need to use alcohol-based hand sanitizer, that's fine. It should have at least 60% alcohol in the sanitizer. So if you read the label, it should say 60% or greater, and that will be effective against this particular virus. So also I've had questions about regular soap and regular hand washing. Does that work? And the answer is yes. This particular virus is sensitive to soap. Regular hand washing soap, if you have a hand washing sink, and maybe you do not have the alcohol-based hand sanitizer, but regular hand soap does work just fine with soap and water. And again, whether you're using hand sanitizer or if you're using regular soap and water, try to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. And some have said to sing the happy birthday song at least one time straight through. But there's other methods you can use, but at least 20 seconds of hand washing. Don't just wash your hands for 2 seconds and be done. Wash your hands with intent, with purpose, knowing that how thorough you are can prevent you and your family from becoming ill. And again, with hand washing, it's so important. If you sneeze, a lot of times this time of year, we're dealing with allergies, we're dealing with different types of coughs and different types of responses. That doesn't mean everybody has COVID around you. It's just allergies, seasonal allergies sometimes. But when you do that, oftentimes you're sneezing in your hand, you're coughing in your hand, and it's important to take time to wash your hands or use the hand sanitizer at that point. It's also important after using the restroom. COVID-19 has been shown to be spread by folks not washing their hands after visiting the restroom. So that is an issue as well. And then also before eating or preparing food. Anytime you're handling food, of course, washing your hands. One of the things that you may have noticed for some in the audience today, on the Facebook audience, is that we're seeing more people during this time telework, meaning people are working from their homes. And that's not common, oftentimes not a common way of working, but right now that's another form of social distancing. Rather than being in an office setting where there's lots of people gathered, we're spreading out, we're allowing people to work from home. And so if you hear the term telework, folks are taking advantage of that and continuing to work, but being home or being at other locations where they're working individually and not in a group setting, at an office setting. So these are all preventive ways, preventive methods for COVID. And all of us have a role to play in that. So please, I urge you and caution you to please follow the social distancing and keeping that safe distance from others to the extent that you can. I also wanted to talk just for a moment about some of the testing and the numbers, and I know earlier President Nez did mention, but for the Navajo Area Indian Health Service, for the federally operated facilities, we have actually tested, as of yesterday, 2,147 people, 2,147. That's beginning to be a large number. It would be great if we even have tested more, but that's a good number of people. Of those, 1,619. So 1,619 tested negative. So a lot of people testing negative. A lot of times symptoms might be similar to something, another virus or another influenza, a cold virus, but we do have a lot of testing that's happened where it's come back negative, and that's important for you to know. And then we've had, within the federal service units, 243 positive cases. So from that same testing, 243 positives. And you may have seen a number of 321 cases across the Navajo Nation. Of course, that's the number of positive cases for not only the federally managed service units, but also the tribally ran service units. So that's those are added together for a total of 321 cases. So since this particular disease began and it began spreading, we've seen this significant increase in cases, and I cannot overstress just how important everyone has a role to play in this in terms of prevention. Stay at home when you can. Only do those things that are essential when you need to. Try to only have one person in your family going to commercial settings or grocery store settings where there's other groups of people. I've had questions come to me concerning individuals who have been diagnosed with COVID-19 and how many of those have recovered from the disease. And actually, that's a complex, or it's a difficult question to answer, because whenever we have positive cases of COVID-19 here on Navajo, whether a patient is seen at a federal service unit or a tribally operated facility, in many cases those patients are transported to other higher levels of care that might be in Albuquerque, might be in Phoenix, and so those patients are then moved and treated at that location. Also, there are patients who have tested positive and they are quarantining themselves at home. They're taking care of themselves at home, they're doing fine, but they just need to work through the illness and recuperate. But we also have some that were never tested and that are also quarantined at home. And so trying to determine a recovery rate from this illness of those who have been identified as having COVID-19, been infected, it's really a difficult thing. It's very challenging to provide that information, but we're looking into that and we'll report back if we have some success with that. I also want to just reiterate that we continue to plan and plan diligently. We're working very hard at all service units, and I just want to thank, again, I'll thank some folks later, but at all of the service units, at all the healthcare facilities across Navajo, whether it's an IHS or a tribally ran facility, there's lots of planning going on at all levels. There's lots of activity going on. And the reason this is happening is because if we've seen now over 300 cases on Navajo, then what do we anticipate in the future? And we're trying to make absolutely sure that we have an appropriate number of beds, the right type of care provided, and then for those who might need extended care, just making sure that we have enough space and we have our healthcare system set up to address everyone's needs. So again, I want to thank both the IHS and the tribally operated facilities. I want to thank the Navajo Nation leadership, including the delegates and the Navajo Nation president and vice president. Lots of people have been involved in these efforts, and that's so critical. I also just wanted to touch on very briefly, for those who haven't heard, there has been funding that has been designated for COVID-19, specifically for Indian country. And starting in early March, there was a COVID-19 Preparedness Act. IHS did not receive funding directly through that. However, we did receive $70 million from the Public Health Service Fund. And from that $70 million, $40 million of that is going to our National Supply Services Center. And what that is that's a warehouse in Oklahoma City. It's a national warehouse that the IHS uses nationally to acquire supplies, pharmaceuticals, and other needs that we have in terms of personal protective equipment for healthcare providers, personal protective equipment for patients. So that's where $40 million went. $30 million of that went to IHS for direct services for the COVID response activities. Now, there was also a second funding source that came out, the Family First Act, and that was comprised of $64 million that is being sent out to IHS, to tribes, and to urban facilities. So here on Navajo, for example, we have an urban facility in Flagstaff, Arizona, referred to as Native Americans for Community Action. So there are, and the tribal facilities, the 93,638 facilities, is receiving some of that funding. And that particular amount of funding, the $64 million, is specifically for COVID-19 testing. So if you're a patient and you're seen, some of that money would be used to pay for your testing. A third amount of money came out referred to as the Coronavirus Aid and Relief Economic Security Act. You might hear it referred to as the CARES Act. And through this particular act, there was $2 trillion. It involved a $2 trillion stimulus package. And in this, IHS received slightly over $1 billion for COVID-19 preparedness and response. So money, funding in the amount of $570 million is being sent to tribal and IHS programs. Another $30 million to urban health programs. And then there's a remaining balance of $600 million that's going to be distributed in the next couple of weeks, and IHS is working with tribes on that methodology. So it's important to know that my message there is their funding is flowing. We're trying, any funding that we receive, we're trying to get that out as quickly as we can to our tribal partners, and hopefully that'll be very useful in pursuing this pandemic. I just want to, on a final note, just want to say thank you to a lot of folks out there, and hopefully if you have some of these individuals in your respective families who are working on the front lines, whether they're a physician or a nurse, maybe they're a housekeeper at a hospital or a health clinic. There are so many people that play a critical role as we fight COVID-19. And I personally want to say thank you for all those healthcare workers, indifferent of who you work for or where you work at. If you're working for the Navajo people here within the Navajo area or on the Navajo Nation, we thank you for what you're doing out there on the front lines. I know that there's just a number of folks out there that's working, and I've seen it, I've spoken with them, and just tirelessly committed to making sure that we're all safe. So I do appreciate that. We also appreciate individuals who are offering donations of personal protective equipment and supplies, surgical masks and other items. We do appreciate that, and to the extent we can, we are accepting those and making sure that those go to the right locations, and oftentimes we're working with the Navajo Nation on those items, so we do appreciate that. I have no doubt that these are challenging times for all of us. This is certainly a unique situation. We haven't had one of these situations come up in the United States for approximately 100 years. There was a former influenza outbreak in the early 1900s, but this is unique. But as we've heard, we will persevere. We just ask you, if you do follow the social distancing, keep yourself safe, eat well, sleep well. We will get through this. And I just want to thank you all for what you do and working with Navajo Nation leadership and the federal partners and state partners and the tribal partners. Thank you.
Yat Shikada Shidna DA Kodo Perfilia Fowler the Shidna my dish Gijnin Schlan Twitch in Ibashchin Adot Ashche the Shichedo Trapa et the Chanale Trotus Ahol Yede Ade Yisa Nasha Ko Dilton Adobik J Kodo Nihich Ahanana Seat or less Art Ashi Nihich Hadetzi Ako El Sahigi a Di Hashil Sago the Kosnalni bits are hot any a by a dale shik edo shidna. Halaid ena ibantas kes, halay shidi shidna shik edan linik edit or tila, Joinson. A call the quid shin bechas nahan nehot eya, big is iti, Jojo hot alk edant andan tind A kadilsa a large at Nahandal nishi, first responders delne. Ado kon zet in a danle, ado zet ne ka, ado kon in tessa, ado ho to loud and lini to lash chin, etinia da haliani, ad ende elsko, ihe bedini dolet, bedit ni dolet, nilsko, kodotaka hot zande, hashino la shin ade, da is not do hanada sokis. Kodo Taraho Zando ba he nitzen. O kodi de kwas nalni lini. Ashi inni do hot ego be da ini ji. Do haleit be ido jil do hol yeda shinta do nilla. O kola sato be o liedne shik edo shidne. Di de kwasil walyeni nalni higi. Doit ida shik edo shidne. Eina als anda dan hiditne. Ado heshi ba nal dogi doit ida. Bi rahoj jedel wo. Bi kedo da jo gaslo. Aha hodenol jinlo ot bini na. Ado yego al hilrahan da dan hidit no kodo ben dat ni tien. A masan le che le na antien do le. Do tahode don't nil. Ha latanot O lantan his not his. Jo hot ada sad delk eda. Jo eye kote ben na dat ni tien. Di de kwaswalieni gi ben na nasni bits ndolne la jo nahaha ni zena onditne. Etan ditne nahaha da hasan anolscho. The queen da the quiz kanye da shinkon na hasa bakaten in hit elianle. Nasko net nijin junon hios kato da di no it outside da dilzen. Hahosh kwa hajo do sho the needzi shik edo shedene. Ben not tien ben dat need tien. Ashi ini kodo oyo hash kenna halon be yasht in de. Hashit kwa the quaidish ben hilton da hadon neshik edo shidne. Hajoso da hajohon wante nahasotra. Slashe ani bik at the hanol he. Hashine lashe kwa en nata iste. Ado kon chinik ado da oltrata. And Jono shin kwa atla alhindo isho di ahane. She yajisha away situation nale. Ohot anta antkine. Tlapeta huilza. Hashine la has twido sani dan hinestra. Hashine la kon latn hitsa anta iste. Beka joba ini zen konna antkin hashke walyene. Ilkeda ba hansen. Di kwa etashti ho kon natki natati ho. Asach that yasent. Ado kon trotan lingoda. Aj honga eda jike achut o datzi gisle. Eyen shin kwa banta huishish. Ashin inila troton hilya da hazlida. Achinla a contain da dil clip. E shin ben dat notkin. Be eta achwilya shik edo shidne. And lede instisieta ani. She says zido han netten lini bik inan schnetten de. Do bik inan schne dash de kui. She jay najol childe insle. Hajo isen sa dash kane la nantin nan dishlande en son kesle. Ako ashi inni sani do has tui da sidli in de la. De inda kode inda sho di ail nila. Nlede internasil kes. Shik edo shidne. Hot ala shich yatkine hot ala shich hot washinde. Eya koda banein ka. Ni hishin ito la hotanot ni itan squido sani o yun dan hitnes tra. Kad atitla hon wade ndahastra. Amato je amayaje atatadle. Anale etche. Bahanna o atahayun tapatol kit. Ni hita not out any his zad, ni hita all in bentahitol at shik edo shidne. Dik at nle de be nal tloshin lini ho. Kat ikeshje in dahuishish. Aj a kaan dacha. Da ik ist edal ij aj. In dahuishish. Yunan nishko at eshik edo shidne hon wat has age. De beberan sleeperan da andatle. De beidchan da chita hokiet yego na nishbitske na has twin hizani do yite yirata. Aj in dahoche. Ado kodon handal nishi alscho. Kuije ihe dan hidine. Nihijale. Nihinan nishla and hillik en as lak at wade la and haso trado big en hitch in da big nihich in da is ya wade and haso tra administrative leave de niniki ashon de shik edo shidne wade hajon na haso tra khala o util cage case twisani dan lini kombanan nish den ado kon hashin sako nihilanje Nakhandal nishi kodo peso la kon nakhad ben yen nata dils obane kai hazard pay delne ni amato jelle anale amasan le khalet shewe shi yajin lo lange dat ajel ko danni hollo eben na ko eben kha khwil yaniki peson lini ahwen shehedan de kwa nabik eyel tketo bich khotatol niliki einal sosi be lato ben del nationle akohado shi anle the first executive order khazne do ado shi nalye liniki ado be khaljish ot am nabik eya del shik edo shedne ado khashin sako adishne nakhalchin o yuhu wad nahaztra Rashin sakoshin tinta iltrahi na kitata ta yoltra inta iltrache enta haljish. Ani hita ahuilian. Di behez ani khadiliabik ahuinil on. Eshe khait edolel. Na khalchinin hi yajin hi awe ni iltraha tats do lelta. Johot ta hanne. Akwande bebich yadaltje. Ashin inni yinnil ndahalt ende jolchine ni ngalchine end isthatanzen jok at ultrabanata khweshish ende ne italia khaleit adolela jo ajdo nat ani o yu ilket nasnel hajon khalchine bantaha distance learning da dohne ado online learning da dohno be denoshe hajona khalchina pa atalle hajona khalchina panta atnat ani danolleni ado khashin sakonat ani dan le kodo atalate na ani sitsilishi yaj ebedak ehi it beish mahasa anada danolle ado hashin sako et nihik etahadini ado naha ata isnel ha ishle shik edo shidene aniltro ilkidi kato ko enhidene bebe ka adilwa sanleni hajo honwa de estani ado la yugo la aleko ndakhe اشتلاجلت اهكوت اي اسلانتا اتلها نينده التسا اونزاج نهول ياشي ادو اتهدشك ايدو شدنه جوتينا لنين لنيكي تويت ايدا دشنه هاليت ابيك ادت اوتيلا هاليت اكدو اتولا بينا نيتكني جو اي يسشك ايدو شدنه. As leaders of the Navajo Nation, we may have disagreements from day to day, but at the end of the day, we are still professionals. Khashine lantnat ani nohlini ashi eni kwa oyoto haskita nahalende. Jote ne eba eat edine, the ne eba ka adil waltine. Ashi eni laho nihilnda holchende. Khajo ta ahidenosen chik edo shedene. Ben nicht ehigi ya di khashin tsako talatson lini was dodan tsade inni de la kompel la sidli o chona ilna talatso wolye ako ade ko nikha ije benia ko anhe khe ashkode na khata dinosen khashine la belakana betsinch tlejidanle altra bella ashtla iga banso keshik edo shidene ko ein hika ije ado tsalan lini ade shatadin khatadino sen tsalan lini honne ko tsalan hik etades I akwije do tan hilnini ashkonde denosen chik edo shidene kon sago ya akwije ko nan hinika kodo di sagaho zando na dadi na dan hidine kon sagoshi ya kodo nihich hataha zi dole shik edo shidene hajo etahuino indo hajo ta arhidinosen hajo etatsotatolsen ashi enini ke ol in la dat ende hajo etatsotatolsen na khalchne yo deinohne dishi alteilne struido sani ye bahatzet nasato ehozanda dan hitne bata huishish hajo benta hinothin ado anolscho ya nanat eto njono nihe nadat o alto nihe khanade yol kato njono eyaho na hasaba ka nane tado shik edo shidene na aheha ntshago